York, apartment hunting is always a topic of conversation. I'm sure you guys know this. And even though it's the worst housing market in America, everybody, as soon as they sign a new lease, they all tell the story the exact same way. We got super lucky. Super lucky. We got super lucky. Somehow everybody I know happens to have gotten super lucky. It's this amazing place in the West Village. It's like 500 square feet and there's no walls anywhere. It's technically not a studio. We think of it more as like an open concept floor plan. Yeah, it's a 5-story walk-up, but you know I've been on this fitness kick lately anyway. Yeah, there's no washer dryer in the building, but there's a laundromat like right next to the suite room, so it's honestly better. Yeah, and we got such a great deal on it too. Like it was listed at $9,000 a month, but my boyfriend called the landlord and he was able to get it down to $8,950. So he just got so lucky. So a lot of people tell me I'm a nice guy, and they know that sounds like I'm bragging, but I don't mean it in a positive way. Being nice is a huge hassle. Like you know when you hold the door for the person behind you, and then they don't hold it for the next person, so you wind up standing there for like 10 minutes holding the door for everybody? That's me. Like I probably held the door for most of you walking in here. You're welcome. But I'm too nice, and it's funny because most of my friends and family, they're classic New Yorkers. They're tough. They're actively not nice, and they're proud of it too. The other day I went to the U.S. Open with my wife, and we get there, and there's a big line of people out front. And when my wife sees a line of people, she doesn't just see a bunch of people who happen to have gotten somewhere before she did. She sees a personal attack. And I've seen this movie before, right? So I take my spot at the back of the line, respectfully, just kind of waiting my turn, and I start trying to convince her that it's moving. I'm like, babe, look at this, it's flying. We'll be there in no time. Doesn't matter. Too late. She's already marching up to the front of the line. She's shoving innocent fans of tennis out of the way. She sees a little kid with one of those giant autographed tennis balls, just smashes in his face. She gets to the front of the line, and I could just barely see her arms flailing about at the front, with the crowd of people, and next thing I know, she turns around, she's calling me up, Tyler, get up here! And now I'm living my actual worst nightmare, where I have to cut an entire crowd of people who she has just made mortal enemies with. Hey, I'm so sorry, I'm just gonna sneak by you. Just trying to get up to my wife. Hey, sorry about your face, buddy, okay? Hey, I love that shirt, that's a great shirt. Seriously though, I'm trying to be less nice. Like I think I need to be more aggressive, The other day, I was talking to a friend of mine. The internet has been going out in my apartment a lot lately, and he said, look, Tyler, here's what you gotta do. This is what you gotta do, all right? You call Spectrum, you tell them you want to talk to the manager, you're gonna cancel your plan, I guarantee you they give you 3 months back off the bill, no problem. All right, cool, yeah, I could do that. Aggressive, let's do it. Here we go. Start getting myself all psyched up. I pick up the phone, I call Spectrum. They're like, hello, this is Spectrum. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm sorry to bother you guys. I know you probably got a lot on your plate right now, but the internet has been going out in my apartment lately, and it's probably something I'm doing. But I just wanted to call and maybe talk to somebody about potentially canceling my plan. Well, we're certainly sorry to hear that, Mr. Strand, and we do value your business, but we'll go ahead and cancel your plan. That's it. I'm offline. So I call Spectrum back and I say, hey, listen, I called earlier about canceling my plan, and I just wanted to say I was way out of line. So recently I decided to sell my car. I've been hearing about how car prices are at an all-time high, the supply chain and interest rates in China, whatever. I haven't been using it that much, so I decided to sell it, but selling your car is like a huge process. Like you gotta call the dealership and get the paperwork and go to the DMV, the title, blah, blah, blah. You do all this work, like 4 months later, you factor all in all the fees. I made like $11 on this car. I just was wondering, like, was it always this hard? What was it like to, sell your horse in like medieval Scotland? Like, I bet you just didn't think about any of this shit. You'd just be like, trotting into town on your horse one day, and some guy would see it and be like, hey laddie, that's a beautiful horse you've got there. Thank you. I've been having an awful hard time finding a horse myself lately. What with the supply chain in China? What's China? I don't really know, to be honest with you, lad, but I'd love to trade you for your horse. A couple hours later, I'd go sauntering down to the pub, no horse, 15-mile walk, just doing it on foot. Beautiful, enormous new feathered cap on my head. I'd walk into the pub, see all the guys, and be like, Tyler, where have you been? And where's your horse gone? I could catch my breath from the walk for a minute and wipe the sweat from underneath the brim of my new hat. I sold the horse today, laddies, and I got super lucky. Thank you so much.